Hi, my name is Tiffany, and this is Growing Up Shaman. This is going to be a story about the very first time that I astral traveled. This was not something that I was trying to do, it was just something that came out of necessity. I was about 6 years old, and I was sitting in the back of a truck. This was back in 1980 when it was still legal to let your kids ride in the back of a truck. My brother was about 8, and my little sister was about 3. My brother was sitting on one wheel hump, and I was sitting on the other wheel hump, and my sister was sitting in between us. And she asked my brother if she could sit with him on his hump, and he was like, no. And I felt sorry for her, so I was like, you can come sit on my hump with me. And I put her on the side that was closest to the back window. And unfortunately, we ended up in an accident. Apparently, somebody had cut my father off and then slammed on the brakes, and he didn't have enough time to stop. So he ended up ramming into her. And unfortunately, we went forward and slammed up against the back window of the truck. And but I don't really remember that, because all I remember is telling my sister she could come sit next to me, and the next thing you know, I was waking up in a pool of my own blood, and I was in so much pain. I was crying, and all I remember is that nobody was paying attention to me. Everybody was paying attention to my sister, because she had taken the brunt of the injuries from the accident. In fact, she wasn't even breathing. And I could just hear my stepmom screaming, Tasha, 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 you know. And that's the last thing I remember about the accident. Fast forward about a day or two, I don't know how many days it was, but I wake up in the hospital and I can't talk. Apparently, in the accident, I had broken my bottom jaw in 3 places, right here, here, and here. And they had to wire my jaw shut. Nobody bothered to tell me, you know, what was going on, why I couldn't talk, if my sister was even okay. And it was something that was deeply, deeply bothering me. So one night, while I was sleeping in that hospital bed, I woke up and I found myself on the outside of my hospital room's window. It was as if I was floating on the outside. So I just went passing all the windows in the hospital looking for my sister. And I remember having to pass another hallway to go to a different building. And I finally found her. I was able to see her through the window, and I could see that she was in what looked like a crib with metal bars. It was like a children's bed for small children. And suddenly I just went back into my body, like I knew she was okay, and I just returned to my body. The next day I woke up, and I didn't know what had happened. I just assumed it was like a dream or something, you know. It gave me comfort, but it wasn't something that I did on purpose. It was just something that needed to be done, and my spirit just seemed to know how to do it and did it. My sister eventually, you know, ended up being okay, and nothing ever happened to my brother. He stubbed his toe. He was big enough that he could, I guess, hold on to the truck, but me and my sister, since we were sharing the hump, you know, we took the brunt of the injuries. But that was the story, the first time I ever astral traveled. I didn't really know what I was doing or how I was doing it. It wasn't until I was an adult that I realized, you know, what had happened. And yeah, so that's my story. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this story, please consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a like. Thank you. I just wanted to make a part 2 for my astral traveling video because I remembered something. When I was an adult and I told my dad about this experience that I had after that accident, my dad, he actually validated something for me. He said that it's true that my sister was in a completely different building in the hospital, because even though we were both children, I was in the adult side of the hospital and he said it was because of the type of surgery that I'd had, that apparently it was just, they took care of me in that side of the building, so it made sense that I had gone through that hallway, or gone past that hallway to get to that other building. So that was just a little bit of confirmation that I received, 30 years later. But I just wanted to share that. Thank you.